I will start to make a small presentation of what district cooling is. Then I want to talk about the good example, district cooling in Gothenburg. And then my colleague here, Mr. James Becker, will talk about the district cooling potential here in Lyon. And cooling is a must. Actually today it's a shift in comfort culture. We want it have a nice climate in our offices when we are at work. And also what's a large driving force in the Scandinavian countries is the direct impact on rental values for properties, commercial buildings. And in city centers in Sweden, actually if a property hasn't got a good climate or air conditioning, the rental price will decrease with somewhere between 25 and 30%. And in real prime A areas, it can be as much as 40%. So it's a very huge driving force for the property owners to actually invest in cooling solutions. And also we have a trend in Scandinavia, it's that we put in more and more people per square meter, open landscapes, and we also put in more and more technology within the buildings. And this increases the internal heat loads in the buildings and also the cooling demand. And if we look here where the district cooling development is large here in Europe, then we can see that France and Sweden are best in class, most district cooling. But we can also see that Finland, the Netherlands and Denmark are also expanding rapidly, but from a very low volume. Now I shall talk about the Gothenburg case. And when we looked at the city center of Gothenburg, there is a cooling potential somewhere between 250 to 300 megawatts. And the city of Gothenburg was very clear when they took the decision to invest in this system. They said, we want 120 megawatts of district cooling in the city center to the end of 2014. It's good with clear missions. And in Gothenburg, when we started with cooling in Gothenburg, we built small decentralized, we call it cooling islands. And the good thing with these small islands is that you quite fast can get a market share. But the downside is that it's very hard to get economy of scale. And it's also very hard to get a highly energy efficient solution. To do that, you need the blue here. We have a large river in the central of Gothenburg. So actually the idea was to use the free cooling source. So what we did to start in 2007 was actually that we built a main production plant using cold river water. And also this is what we have done in 3 years. We have been making a large distribution network connecting almost all the small cooling islands, and also connected a lot of customers on our way. And when the system is in full operation, we will have connected around 100 megawatts to the system and roughly 120 gigawatt hours per year. And if we look at Gothenburg, when we started this project, we have almost in 3 years, we have doubled the installed capacity, customer capacity. So it's quite rapid. And the unique selling point for district cooling is it's cost effective. It's very simple to use. You just need a heat exchanger. It's very secure, and it's highly environmental friendly.
We have tried just a quick scan detecting buildings in Lyon. So the snowflakes you can see here just from a quick scan actually represents identified buildings where we identified cooling demand within the greater Lyon area and the city of Lyon. So that is actually the truth, the footprint of today. So from our experience, we would say that there is a great potential of actually having an environmental impact by developing district cooling networks in Lyon to cope with future electrical needs for local solution. So based on sourcing, this seems to be quite feasible to use the local sources that you have in Lyon to meet your local market here in Lyon. But we can also consider actually local environmental impact. If we would use river water for cooling, we could actually decrease the need of cooling towers in the city, which would also decrease noise emissions, local heat emissions from cooling towers. And also we could have less impact on local architecture, either now or in the future when the cooling demand develops. Okay, so that was actually a short, quick view of Lyon from what we have done before this meeting. Okay, thank you.